Having lived a simple and minimalistic lifestyle for years now, I recently discovered the profound benefits of decluttering your life beyond the physical items. So today, I wanted to share some of the tips that I use that allow my physical and mental space to be completely free of clutter. Budget my time. I've shared many times on this channel about the difficulties between saying yes and no, and how hard it is to actually commit to making a decision. Personally, I really struggled with managing my time. In a work setting, I was the guy that said yes to absolutely everything. I was staying late, I always felt overwhelmed, I was never able to do what it is that I needed to do, and I always just felt so far behind. I felt like I was running on a treadmill, never getting anywhere. So I would get off work, absolutely exhausted, feeling like I haven't accomplished a single thing. And I would come home, and then I would realize that I had already made commitments to other people because I was scared of saying no. Or I didn't want to be selfish. I didn't want to miss out on an opportunity. So I just kept pushing back things that I needed to do in my life. And I felt that this created the most clutter. Since I was always running around, my environment wasn't what I wanted. Since I was always running around, I was never able to check in with myself and say, hey, how's it going? What is it that we need to prioritize more? What is it that we're doing good on? So I just made a fundamental shift. And I thought, how can I give myself control in a situation where I feel completely just helpless? And it was very easy. It's just like when you budget for money. I began to budget my time. So in a work setting, I would look at my calendar, and if I had my boss come over and he'd say, hey, do you mind doing this? I would say, I'm absolutely willing to do that. I'm actually booked all day today. I have an opening at 2 o'clock tomorrow for about 30 minutes. Do you think that's long enough to be able to do that? And I found that he would realize, oh, he's busy. I don't think 30 minutes is long enough to be able to do this. Just keep doing your thing. I'll go find, whoever else can take care of the situation. I was acknowledging what it was that he wanted. I was showing him, hey, I'm actually busy doing the very thing that I'm here supposed to do, which is work. I'm willing to do it at some point, but it's on my time. I'm giving myself control. And I found that oftentimes he respected that. And then I translated it over in my own life. Hey, do you want to go swim? I would love to swim. I actually already have commitments. Are you available to actually go on Monday? No? Okay, what day works best for you? Says that day. I can make that work. So it allows me to always be in control of my own time. It's my life that I'm living. I need to budget my time just like we would budget for any of the other important things in our life. This tiny fundamental switch is crazy how much confidence, just ability to be able to know that I am in control in my own life. Find what makes you content. I found that whenever I began my minimalistic journey, I felt like I needed to scrape every single component in my life because if it was beyond the most basic essentials, it was a surplus, and I shouldn't enjoy things that are in a surplus. So as I got rid of everything in my life, I sat there and I just felt completely miserable, and I was upset at minimalism because it didn't solve what it was that I was looking for. In reality, it's because I did the task for the simple sake of doing the task. Minimalism, decluttering, simple living, slow living, intentional living, all of these different things that we are doing in our life should be intended to discover within ourselves what is enough, what makes me content. As I began to slowly rebuild my life and put in the things that I actually enjoy doing, I found that I have very few things in my life, but I feel more full than ever before. And one of the biggest tools was I just got a piece of paper and I wrote down what makes me happy. And I don't think I actually used happy, but I can't remember what exactly, but that works. And I wrote down the things, and almost every single thing I wrote down actually was completely free. I love to go on walks. I love to go swim. I love to be able to pet dogs. I like to spend times with my friends. I like to do campfires. These were all things that I have 100% in control of doing right now at this very moment. It doesn't take any resources. It doesn't take any more pursuit. It doesn't take me being stuck in my past to be able to do those things. So it's just an important reminder that if we forever just declutter until we have nothing, I almost believe that's just as bad as if we clutter until we have everything, even though that doesn't exist, because we're doing it without control. We're doing it for the simple sake of the task. And then it begins to take away what it is that we're actually searching for to begin with. Consume what is aligned with your goals. When you begin to shift in the life that you want, you begin to take on kind of a new persona. You begin to be the person that you've always dreamt of. You have to take off a lot of baggage of what you used to be. Your environment needs to change. The friendships you have, the content you consume, a lot of these things need to evolve with you. And I think that's one of the hardest things to do. I personally believe that that's why clutter happens to begin with, is typically we hold on to things that no longer provide us value, but may have had a good memory behind it, or a good emotion, or all of these different things that we have some sort of emotional or kind of logical attachment to, so we just push it off. In reality, the best way to do that is to actually get rid of it altogether, to be able to acknowledge, you provided a lot to me. It was an enjoyable experience, but I'm becoming a new person, and I need to commit to that person I'm becoming. I've found that as I've begun to shift my life in the way in which I can feel within that I am shifting, it has allowed me to feel very authentic with my life. I feel very genuine. I don't feel like I'm lying to anyone or to myself. This has allowed me to be able to get rid of a lot of the excess in my life, both mentally and physically. Have parallel focus. Until just the last couple of years, if you were to ask me, what was your life like? What were some things you were working on? What were things you enjoyed doing? I would have absolutely no idea, because I was so tunnel visioned in everything that I was bad at. All of my insecurities, all of my fears, my anger, all of these different things, I suppressed so much and held so tight, I was horrified for anyone to actually see who I was. So I completely hid myself. I excluded myself from absolutely everything. I was so scared that if I had a conversation longer than like 5 or 10 minutes, that someone would discover who I am and that that person's bad. So it's better for me to just not have conversations. It's better for me to not show the world the gifts that I actually have. Of course, naturally, you do this long enough, it's almost like you suppress everything into this like nucleus of negativity and bad energy. And it goes like this, and I had just at the right time a very bad loss in my life, and I exploded with anxiety. And I found that as I was rebuilding my life, slowly, intentionally, in control, that I was putting all of these little components to my life. And I was finding I'm very brave. I'm courageous. I actually am enough. I'm confident. I'm caring. I'm all of these different things that I had never seen because I was so focused on one direction. The interesting thing is most people that have dealt with a traumatic experience or anxiety or all of these different things, you kind of always have part of your vision or your energy still focused on that. So as I'm rebuilding my life and finding kind of my path, I'm still thinking about those things that I was lacking. And I found that that's actually one of the best ways to be able to do it. I found that if I felt so full or so focused on the good, well, the bad began to kind of pile back up. Work is going great. I'm killing it. My bonus is going to be huge. This is everything that I've been working for. Why do I feel so empty? It's because I have all of this baggage that's just been stacking up, that's been cluttering on top of each other. So let me now face and focus on this. Okay, we need to do these things, go to therapy, do all of this stuff. Okay, now we're good. So let's go back to, okay, things are going, and you're going back and forth. What I began to do is almost think, if you have a path and it has those like little yellow stripes or whatever you see on the road, the right side is the good. The left side is what it is that you need work on. And you take one step in each path and you continuously just keep going forward. You just keep moving. I found that as I focused on the good components and the stuff that I was working on, I didn't have these sways back and forth. And it was almost like just a continuously gradual line towards the positive, towards the life that it was that I wanted to live. I find that what I do with every single aspect in my life is I write down, what am I doing good at? What needs improvement? Let's take YouTube, for example. What is going good? The way in which I create the outline for a video, I feel is very good at this moment. What needs work? My thumbnails. My creativity, the way in which I'm building them, there's something lacking. Okay. Now I'm able to focus on some of the things that I need to acknowledge. And I can also say, hey, this is going good. And it allows me to just feel like I'm not just like, man, I suck at thumbnails. I'm not able, or man, my video things are so good. Why is it not doing good? The algorithm hates me. I have complete control in the situation that I'm a part of. I'm putting control in my hands. I'm realizing these are both good components. I'm going to work on these things until new things be able to replace that. I hope that some of these tips were able to help you. I think clutter is such an interesting thing because it really goes beyond just physical items in your life. I really believe that the most clutter that people are actually struggling with is all what's inside, typically actually within your emotions. So I hope that this was able to provide some sort of value. I hope that you have a wonderful day. Enjoy as always. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.